The theme of your conference here is very much aligned to what we are doing in the Ministry of ICT, with a view to re-engineering the way we conduct business on one hand, and also enhancing the level of efficiency and effectiveness in service delivery to the wider public. You are aware that in our Kenya Kwanza plan, the digital superhighway is a thematic area, and it was deemed so because ICT is not just an enabler to all the other facets of our plan, but it is also a critical success factor for government moving forward. Against that background, I want to draw a nexus between what we are doing in the Ministry of ICT and how you can align to the same with a view to enhancing efficiency and effectiveness, and also ensuring prudence in management of land as a critical resource in this country. And also how you can benefit from what we are doing as a ministry if we work together in partnership. In fact, one of our frontiers, very early frontiers in terms of the digitalization agenda, was the Ministry of Lands. When we came into government, we were guided by His Excellency the President that one of the things that we must help unclog is the bottlenecks faced at the Ministry of Lands, with specific emphasis to the lands registry. So that was our first point of call. We got in touch with the Ministry of Lands to see how we could help through digitalization to help clean up that space. Now, for purposes of clarity, let me explain what we are doing in the space of digitalization of services on one hand and digitization of records on the other, and how you can align to that in tandem with the theme of your conference. One of the things that we are doing is to roll out fiber, 100,000 kilometers of fiber, and we are doing this because we still have critical segments of the Kenyan society or parts of the country that still do not have reliable and stable internet. As we speak, as opposed to digging channels on the ground to roll out the fiber, in fact, we have enhanced our fiber rollout plan through a partnership with the Kenya Power and Lighting Company. We have contracted them so that we can actually fast-track this process by rolling out fiber using the existing or leveraging on the existing electricity transmission lines. The question that you need to ask yourselves as managers of land as a critical resource in this country is, how do you partner with us so that in the process of rollout of the fiber, you ensure that all your critical sites, whether they are offices of the Ministry of Lands or the National Land Commission, also benefit from the fiber rollout plan, so that by extension, we have internet in all our land installations or institutions. That is one. Two, you need to understand that digitization and digitalization, for that matter, is a major change program, because it is actually a radical departure from the norm. And the question that needs to come to your mind is, what do you need to do to carry the people along? Anytime you are introducing a change program, human beings, Kenyans inclusive, will always be resistant to change. Those working in government institutions who are benefiting from the status quo will always be resistant to change. So you need to undertake a massive sensitization program so that you carry the people along. If you win the people to your side, you will successfully implement the change program. If you lose the people, that change process will be stillborn. So in that vein again, we are ready and willing to work with you, the National Land Commission, to help you roll out a massive sensitization program in terms of what you are doing as the National Land Commission, or by extension the Ministry of Lands, in introduction of technology in management of land resources. We are today operating in an environment where we have got emerging technologies that we can leverage on. Blockchain technologies, there's artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, big data, just to mention but a few. But if you are rolling out a critical mass of digital public infrastructure in the management of land resources, but there is no commensurate level of digital skilling of Kenyans to facilitate optimal uptake of the digital infrastructure that you are rolling out, then all your initiatives will be stillborn. As a ministry, we have embarked on a major digital skilling program. I want again to extend an invitation to you to work with us in partnership so that in the process you ensure that we get customized training for all those involved in all aspects of land management, whether be they lawyers, be they the Kenyan public, be they government officials themselves, so that you get relevant digital skilling among the Kenyan population and public officials to facilitate optimal uptake or utilization of the digital infrastructure that you are introducing in the management of land space. The other issue that we need to discuss is the issue of devices. You are aware that most Kenyans still do not have access to smart-enabled telephones, or by extension, technological devices. If everything is going onto the digital platform, how do you expect our mothers, aging mothers in the villages, to utilize Ardhi Sasa, for example? That is a discussion that we need to have. There's a critical mass of Kenyans have at their disposal smart-enabled telephones to enable them utilize the technological interventions that we are introducing into the marketplace. As a ministry, we have partnered with the private sector, and we have embarked on local assembly of cheap, smart-enabled telephones, which are already been rolled out in the Kenyan market. Most of them are going for at a unit cost of about $40. You need to reach out to us as a ministry so that we ensure that a critical mass of your stakeholder segments, those consuming your services, as those responsible charged with the functional mandate of managing land resources, have access to smart-enabled telephones as a start, but also the wider Kenyan population, because each and every Kenyan is involved in land transactions in one way or the other, must have these smart devices. So that's again a discussion that we need to have. Otherwise, you will be deploying technology, but Kenyans will not be able to consume that for lack of, to optimally consume that for lack of devices. So all I can say, good people, is that there is a wide array of opportunities for partnership between the Ministry of ICT and the Ministry of Lands on one hand and the National Land Commission on the other. And we need to work together. In fact, failure is not an option, because one of the areas we are targeting as government to enhance our revenue base is to ensure that through digitalization, we are collecting taxes at source in land transactions. So we have to work together. We are joined to the hip. We are Siamese twins as far as this digitalization agenda is concerned. As a Ministry of ICT, we are ready and willing. Our doors are open. Knock on our doors anytime so that we explore ways and means of pursuing the digitalization agenda and digitization agenda in equal measure to a logical conclusion.